let me explain why I enjoy Resident Evil as a franchise. Now, I was surprised that I got into Resident Evil since it's part of a genre that I really don't get into, but at the same time, maybe it's because it felt different. I focused less on certain things, just more on the characters. It's the characters I enjoyed about the Resident Evil franchise. Now, let me put it like this: Resident Evil, as we all know, is you fight zombies and stuff. And as the game progressed, you had more advanced monsters to the point where the games felt more actiony and stuff. And I know some don't like the action stuff, but I think it was a good progression because at some point, the way the game is designed in the world, you will expect it to get action. Because in the end, you have a group of people who want to take over the world, and of course, you got these heroes who are rising up. The zombies and monsters are just like their means of world domination. So of course, it came off action. It's shonen in a way. Resident Evil is a Japanese franchise, and of course, the characters feel shonen. It has some unsettling moments, but at the same time, it still works in a way. Even when I played like Resident Evil 2, the main guy, Leon, one of the main characters, he like this shonen like personality. He wants to save the world, or well, at least he wants to save people. And he's gonna fight the monsters and protect everybody that he can. Same thing with Claire. She was determined to save this little girl that she ran into, and she was not gonna let anything get in her way. I remember then you had the original Resident Evil. You had these two cops. Of course, they were in this really bad situation, but they they found the courage within themselves to push through and get through whatever all the terrible things. And I guess that's another good thing about these characters. They show courage. They're scared. Of course they'd be scared. Who wouldn't be scared in a situation like this? But what I admired is that they had the courage to get through this and do what they need to do. And later on, they willingly went back to this type of thing because they knew other people are in danger and only they can save these people. So it shows some development on their end that they go from being unsure about the situation to knowing they can handle it. That's what I've always found admirable. I liked Resident Evil 3 and the way Jill was portrayed. She was scared. I could tell she was scared. You could tell it in her voice. It didn't stop her from trying. And if she ever saw someone in danger, she's gonna risk her life to save that person. Jill was a good example of how to make a strong woman. She didn't have to act like a guy. She was still a woman, but she let that natural compassion shine through. But she was ready to fight and kick ass whenever she needed to. That's what made her such a model character. So, and Resident Evil has one of the best villains I've seen in video games, that being Albert Wesker, who himself has a bit of layers to him, but he's also got these superpowers too. He's got super strength, super speed, and he wanted to become a god. He wanted to take over the world. And that just really adds more to the whole shonen thing to Resident Evil. As of late, the Resident Evil games have more Western writing than Japanese writing. And it wasn't all bad. Like the Resident Evil 2 remake, I think, had more Western writing, but it was still a good remake. It was still done well. Everything else Western has been like, I don't really understand. It's like I don't feel like they fully understood these characters as well as they could have understood them. I just miss the old anime aesthetic. I miss the soundtrack. You could, I mean, the fun thing is that Raccoon City, where it's based off of, where it's from, the games take place. Why did I take so long to get to that point? Is was kind of modeled after Japanese cities. So it was an American town with a bit of a Japanese flair to it, but it made it unique. I liked how Resident Evil was, and I will always enjoy the classic games. I don't know what's going to happen for the future, but it's fine. If anything, Resident Evil just capped off at, okay, maybe Resident Evil 6 for me. Yeah, I know Resident Evil 6 was not perfect, it could have been better, but it was still a decently fun game. I did like the whole three characters, three different main stories. Well, so, whatever. That's all I had to say. I'm signing off.